Hello and welcome to ET Auto. We are in conversation with Shradha Suri Marwah, who is the president of ACMA and also the CMD of Subros Limited. Shradha, thanks for sparing your time to talk to ET Auto.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, we are here at the 8th ET Auto EV Conclave. So let's talk about the electrification megatrend. And from as I observe, Indian component manufacturers, many of them, till about a few years ago, many of them were also fence sitters. Now, are there still any fence sitters left, or it is like full-fledged on in terms of investment for the EV to take opportunities of the EV megatrend?
Absolutely not. If someone's a fence sitter, they're going to fall off the race. I don't think there is any doubt in anyone's mind that this is a reality and a reality that we all need to prepare ourselves for.
Right. And also the auto component in industries revenue, a significant chunk, if I'm not wrong, almost over the half of that come from powertrain components.
Yes.
Yeah. So that transition would be a very significant one in that case. So how do you see this progressing over the next few years?
So you know what? In India, the whole pie is growing. We're going to move from 4 million to about 7 to 10 million in the next 10 years, of which 70% will still be the ICE engine. So the ICE pie by itself is growing. So no one's going out of business. Also, I think as India, we've got the last person standing advantage. While the rest of the world is shutting off on ICE, I think we have an advantage to actually manufacture for not only for India but for the rest of the world. So I don't see a large issue over there.
Indeed, as was also said by another industry leader, that India could be the last man standing in the global scenario in terms of the ice market, the ice market continuing in the automobile industry. So, but in terms of the size of the EV related components, how big do you expect it to be, say, by the end of this decade for the Indian component industry?
So the way the passenger vehicle market is growing and predicting, electric vehicles should constitute anywhere between 15 to 20% over the next 7 to 10 years. As you know, the two-wheeler market has already crossed the 50% mark, and it's going to grow. So auto components being a subset of that will follow suit. So that's what the market really looks like at the moment. And when we talk about EV, there's also a whole lot of what we call flex fuels and alternate fuels, which are there as well. So I think there's enough and more for everyone to look at and do.
Right. And also the electrification megatrend is also kind of a great leveler of sorts. I mean, no one has a significant, huge advantage of decades in terms of either technological capabilities or definitely not in terms of scale. I mean, everyone's still not looking for that critical scale. So, does that give Indian component manufacturers, therefore, an advantage to really think big and work on a global scale and tap the global players as well? Considering that everyone's looking at considering that everyone's looking at cost efficient, uh, cost efficient but advanced technologies.
So I think India is at a point of advantage right now. And the China plus one strategy is now a reality. We have to look at a long term trajectory. And keeping that in view, we should invest. And I don't think that there will be an issue with us actually scaling up. We definitely have an advantage because the rest of the world is looking at India as a base to supply. And we're going to take advantage of that for sure.
Right. And Shraddha, talking about your own company, Subros, you're a leading supplier of HVAC systems to the automotive industry. Now, when it comes to HVAC systems, in the EV perspective, it's also looked at in a different perspective because in EV being a silent vehicle, relatively much more silent than a comparable ICE vehicle, there are various sources of noise which needs to be addressed, which was not the case earlier, including HVAC. So, how are you kind of working on those areas to ensure that there is minimal, and enforceable hardly any noise from HVAC systems.
That's a good point because as the car becomes more silent, the decibel sounds, even the minuscule decibel sounds, become exaggerated. But what happens with technology development is that the component also evolves with it. So in the case of an HVAC that goes into an EV, the compressors are electric in nature, so it's a silent compressor. The other area that actually makes the noise are all the motors, but the motors have also evolved and moved into a form of electrification. So the noise levels have dropped immensely. They have to, otherwise you won't be able to sit in the car.
And with the EV megatrend, does it also give Subros and perhaps an additional advantage to opportunity rather to tap the global markets maybe even better than what it is doing currently?
So, as far as Subros is concerned, we have a JV, a Japanese JV, and we work within the norms of the JV. So, of course, opportunities are there, and we're going to work with our partner to see how we can actually max those. Yeah.
On that note, all the very best,
Thank
Shraddha.
you.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there you heard Shradha Suri Marwah, President ACMA and CMD Subros, talking about the electrification megatrend and how the component industry is preparing itself to take the advantage, making the necessary investments, developing all the key technologies, including by her own company Subros, which is a leading manufacturer of HVAC systems. On that note, thank you for watching this interaction. Take care. Goodbye.